the main man, John Yoon.
Yo.
Of VeramEcom.com.
Yeah.
And his YouTube channel. So he's going to tell us how he did nearly $3 million in gross profit from Shopify dropshipping via Facebook ads. He's gonna tell us the spiel, how you do it. If you don't know John, he has a popular YouTube channel now where he does completely free tutorials on how to make money with Shopify dropshipping. And we're here in Chiang Mai right now in his penthouse condo that he's balling out, making so much money. And I met you in camp 2 years ago.
I was 3 years ago.
3 years ago. He comes up to me in camp. He's like, "Oh, are you Riley? I saw your videos." Something like that, right?
Yeah.
And you were not making any money pretty much with dropshipping at that time?
Yeah, I just started at the time.
And now we've been hanging out a little bit in Chiang Mai, and he told me he did nearly $3 million in gross profit over these past 3 years.
Yep.
Wow, and that's hence why he's living in this boss penthouse condo in Chiang Mai, which is like $3,000 a month.
It's like four or 5,000.
Around four to 5,000, no big deal.
Honestly, it's like we're not really spending that much money because it's like if we were living in Chicago, we'd be spending like $5,000 per month for an apartment.
Yeah.
And we don't really spend that much of our money, to be honest. But I do love to like live in nice places. Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
We all do. Like, if I was making the money that you're making, I would be doing the same exact thing. And you have a couple roommates here, like 2 other roommates. And you got the mountain view here and just chilling. And now you're making YouTube videos and you're recording your course all about this, how to create a profitable Shopify store. And that's coming soon, so link below will be there. Overall, I guess if you guys don't know what dropshipping is, it's marketing products on your own website that you don't own. The customer pays for it first, and then the manufacturer ships it directly to them. So, without further ado, you've done millions in profit. How do you make $1 million on Shopify? What's the secret? What's the plan? How do you do it if someone wants to know and do it?
Okay, so I feel like there's really no secret to it. It's really just like a lot of hard work, knowing like all the fundamentals of advertising, and then just like grinding it out. And really, it's like, I'm trying to think like what you have to know to do it, but I feel like all the information is already out there on the internet for free, basically. And all we're really doing with the course is just compiling all this information for you guys into a very easy to understand format. So I'm like trying to think as to like how I could explain how you could possibly do it.
Okay, let's
but it's like such a complex process of like just learning along the way.
Yeah, exactly. Which is story of life. You know, don't wait to have everything dialed in 1,000,000%. Just you're gonna learn along the way. Same thing with selling on Amazon, which is what I do.
But I think I can tell them like the story of like how this all began and how I got to where I'm at today.
Okay.
Which is like initially it's like when I first met Riley, I wasn't like broke, but I didn't have a lot of money, and I had just started dropshipping, and I coincidentally met him at camp because I came to Chiang Mai actually at the start because I watched his videos, and I was so inspired about the lifestyle that he was living. I was in college like studying my ass off, and I'm like, I fucking hate going to school. I fucking hate waking up early in the mornings to like go to class, study for these exams, and like just stressing all day. And I was a junior in college at the time, I believe, and I was like, you know what? This summer break, I'm not going to get an internship. I'm just going to fly out to Chiang Mai.
Let's go.
And meet some other entrepreneurs and try to improve my life for myself. And after I met Riley, I happened to run into this kid named Wilson.
Yeah.
Who happened to turn out to be a scammer, but I was such a naive kid that I believed him. And he ended up scamming me for like $1,000. But luckily through this guy, I met a bunch of other people that he was also trying to scam. But at the end of the day, we all became friends. And now they're also... a lot of them are still living in Chiang Mai. And through these guys, I learned a lot about entrepreneurship, online marketing, and they've been, like, we're still friends to this day, and they're still teaching me more stuff. Mm-hmm. And through this experience, I definitely learned so much about entrepreneurship and growing up or maturing into an adult, I guess, because I'm 23 now, and I guess I could consider myself an adult.
Yeah. You're only 23?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. And guess what? Now he's got a Louis bag, bitches. He's got a Louis bag. He's balling out. Anyway, okay, cool. So yeah, guys, that's super awesome that I was one of the channels that inspired you to make the jump. Hopefully this video does the same. So okay, how do you give some tips and tricks? Give like the basic of the strategy that it takes to start the store, get the traffic, and get the sales. What are the tips and tricks these days, even if they're free?
I feel like the steps are like, one, it's like the belief. You have to believe that it's going to work, and if you even like believe it like 50%, most likely it's never going to work. So it's like whenever I started, it's like I had 100% faith that whatever I was working on was going to work. So even if I failed once or twice or 3 times, I kept going at it because I knew at the end of the day the dropshipping model actually does work, and that eventually it was going to work. So that was the first thing. Then the second thing was like setting up the store, learning how to set up Shopify. And that's quite easy. You just go onto YouTube and there's lots of tutorials on how to set up your Shopify store. We even have one ourselves, so you can take a look at that video, and that should help teach you how to set up your Shopify store. Then the second part comes into finding the product and then running the advertising. And when it comes to finding the product, I don't think it's that difficult. If you scroll through your Facebook feed, there's so many other advertisers running products currently. And you could just take one of the products that are doing pretty well right now, which is like a lot of likes, lots of comments, lots of shares, and you can just tell that this advertiser has been running this product for months. Then you can just take that product, put it onto your own store, and then the next step would be coming up with the creative, which is the actual advertising copy. And to do that, a lot of people tend to just go to YouTube and rip it, or they hire somebody on Fiverr to rip the YouTube videos to make the video for you. But the other option is you could go out there and actually record the content yourself, or you could hire like another agency to record the actual content for you and then make the video yourself. And that's when I feel like that's where the most amount of work goes into, because setting up the store is easy, finding the product is easy, but then finding the advertising is the hardest part. And then marketing the product, that's like where everything is. Yeah. So if you can't market, then it's like it doesn't matter how well your store is or how well you design the store. It's never going to work. So then it's like now it comes down to all you, because you have to figure out how to do all the marketing for your product. Yeah. And to learn how to do marketing, I feel like it's quite hard at the start, but after a few months of doing it, you're going to definitely recognize the patterns and then start to see a little bit of success. And then eventually that little success just snowballs into a lot of success, because the first 2 months, maybe 3 months, I was like doing a very small amount. And then somehow like 4, 5, 6 months later, it's like now I'm doing like hundreds of thousands. Within a year, it's like millions of dollars per month. And it's like, it's ridiculous. Wow. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So this business model in general, like I've always talked about, drop shipping is basically just digital advertising. It's essentially Facebook advertising, because all you're doing is advertising something. And it happens to be a product that, a physical product that you haven't bought in bulk beforehand. This is just a digital marketing, digital advertising game. It's an advertising model. And so, when you're scrolling Instagram and you see some little widget, ding, 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 ding. That's what this is. That's what this is. And he is one of those guys behind that video ad that's making the millions. And so, these, and most of the products that you see are probably making a good amount of money because they're reaching you, and maybe you'll see different ads from different sellers marketing the same type of thing. Yep. Like he has a case study on his YouTube channel about the posture correctors things. So many different companies running that ad. And after I saw your video, by the way, of your brother doing the turnaround thing, I saw your ad. I saw your ad. Yeah. That, so he's running those ads that reach millions of people. And how do you reach millions of people? Well, you start small and you test a bunch of different types of videos. And if they work, they get clicks, they get traffic to your website, and they get sales. Website's got to be, good. And it's making money. Boom, you put $1 in, you make $1.50 back or $2 back. Then the great thing about Instagram and Facebook and this business model is you can scale it up worldwide. So instead of putting in $100 a day and making, $200, you can put in $2,000 a day and make back $4,000. Yep. You essentially scale it. The scalability is really virtually limitless, because everyone in the world pretty much shops online. Is that accurate?
Yeah, basically. And I feel like e-commerce is still in its infancy, and it's projected to grow much higher in the future. So it's not too late for you guys to start. Because I know a lot of people now are probably like, there's too many dropshippers out there. But I feel like the market is just growing. And I guess the number of dropshippers are also growing. But there's still so much space in the market that anyone can start right now.
Let's see, startup cost. So if I was watching, I'd be wondering, all right, how much cash investment is this going to take? What would you say? Yeah,
so I'd recommend for most beginners to have at least $500. Now I know a lot of other people say like you just need like $100 to start or something, but when it comes to like you gotta pay the Shopify fee, you gotta pay the applications for Shopify. Maybe you want to upgrade the theme because the default themes are not the best. Then it's like you need a lot more money now to advertise your actual product, and this is where the bulk of your money is going to be spent. And most beginners will not find any success in the first $100 spent because you don't have any idea as to like what to target, how to make your creative, and that's probably where the majority of the time you're going to spend is on advertising.
Yeah, it's advertising because this is an advertising business. It's just advertising trendy products on Instagram. That's it. And then, the easiest fulfillment method possible, which is shipping directly from the manufacturer, so you don't have to buy it up front. It's the whole beauty of this model. You don't have to buy the physical products up front like you would have to with an Amazon FBA model. So advertising, yeah. So what's the kind of lowdown on advertising? Let's say someone is just starting. Do you start off with $10 a day? And then see what works and scale from there? What's kind of the overview of the advertising strategy?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different strategies, and we teach like a low budget strategy for people who only have a couple $100. Then we teach people our normal strategy, which we're going to be spending $100 per day running this thing called campaign budget optimization.
Yep.
And I would say that it's like for most beginners, you should probably run maybe like $25 to $50 per day using a low budget method. Because that's what I did when I started. I never scaled into like $100 ad sets right from the get-go. I started off very tiny, 25 to 50, because I didn't want to risk too much money. And what I've been seeing these days is a lot of beginners are trying to start off with these big budgets because they've been watching too many YouTube videos and all these gurus like showing them, like flexing their big numbers on them, and they want to get to those numbers fast. But to win this game of dropshipping, you have to be very patient. And I feel like this kind of applies to every business. It's like you want to start small and then scale big, right? It's like you never want to just jump into the big thing without knowing how to do the small thing first. So it's like start small, 25 to 50, and then slowly scale it up. And eventually you're going to be spending like $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 per day on advertising. And like that's what we've got into, where it's like we're maxing out our credit cards and our cash flow is like depleting because we're spending so much money per day. And even with like a lot of money in the bank, it's like we're still depleting cash flow on the weekends because we're just selling so many products per day.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And so theoretically the money goes into advertising and it might take a few days to get back to you from Shopify. Does that take every 7 days?
So like from Shopify, it's like they pay out every day on the weekdays.
Oh, I see.
But then on like the weekends, from like Friday to Sunday, they don't pay you out.
I see.
So then it's like you need to have enough cash to last you through the weekend.
I see. So would you say a credit card then to run your ads on is a pretty much requirement?
Yeah, it's definitely a requirement. Right now I'm using American Express because they don't have a credit limit. Or at least they don't tell you what the credit limit is. But if you keep maxing out the credit limit and then paying it off right away, then they just keep raising it for you.
Yeah.
And now we can have like hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit. And
with like several different cards mixed together?
Yeah, with like several different cards mixed together.
Okay. And do you share what cards you use in your course?
Yeah, I think Richard's actually going to cover all the credit cards.
Okay, sweet. Yeah. So, of course, use credit responsibly, but hey, how do you start a business, guys? You got to invest capital, you know. And, yeah, I mean, you could use a debit card too, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be a credit card, right?
Yeah, you can use a debit card. When I first started, I was so bad at finances that I didn't even have a credit card. My credit score was shit, and I had to initially sign up with the Discover card to slowly build up my credit. And during that time, I funded everything on debit. So I was just very patient when it didn't scale too fast because I didn't have the cash flow to scale that fast. And eventually, I had enough money to just scale a lot bigger, still using debit. And it wasn't until like I think a year and a half ago when I finally got like a pretty good credit limit and started using credit cards. So up until then, I just missed out on all the credit card points I could have accumulated. But I don't think it's a big deal because regardless, you're going to still make a lot of money.
Yeah. You're not worrying about a free $1,000 flight when you're making $30,000 a month gross profit.
Yeah.
Which you're probably making more than that. How much does your business make per month gross profit?
So yeah, in Q4 that was like probably the biggest month ever.
Yeah.
Like I think we were like, I feel like we were hitting like 2 to 3 month rev, and then at least like $500,000.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, $500,000 in revenue?
Profit.
Oh, in profit.
Yeah.
$500,000 profit in December, Q4. Was that for just 1 month or Q4?
No, it was just, I think that was like a month and a half.
Okay.
Then we ran into some problems with the logistics because when you're running operations this big and your supplier has to ship out thousands of packages per day, it's like we depleted our supply so quick. Then it's like the manufacturers have to produce the products to get it to our warehouse. Mm-hmm. And because we're depleting the product so quick, the manufacturers couldn't produce the products fast enough to get to the warehouse to ship it to the customers on time. So I think around like later December, we had to pause operations and restock everything. Then it's like Chinese New Year's came through, and now there's coronavirus.
Yeah.
So we had to pause for a little bit longer, but we're about to start operations again, I think March 2nd.
Okay. Sweet. So meaning running ads again.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, cool. And is this is the delivery, is this the e-packet thing? Or how does the shipping work?
Yeah, so we use e-packet for the majority of our packages, but some of them we use this new logistics line called 1DL. And they basically route all the packages over from China to, I think, LA. And this happens in like a 1 day span, or maybe a 2 day span max, where it's like orders placed, supplier ships the package right away to LA, and then from LA they repackage it into like a USPS label, and it goes to the customer within like 4 to 5 days. And somehow it can go from China to the customer within 7 days using this new logistics line. And we've only been using it for certain products that we stock up, but the majority of the other products are still using ePacket because ePacket's still very reliable, and it gets to people within 2 weeks if they live in the US.
Okay.
Yeah.
And ePacket is just like a China to America one unit at a time thing.
Yeah, and like ePacket goes like worldwide. There's so many countries on the ePacket list, like Canada, UK.
I see.
Yeah,
I see. Okay, cool. And so yeah, the 7 day shipping thing. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, yeah, that's not too bad. So, have you thought about like buying some inventory and like stashing it in America, or does it?
Yeah, so we actually bought a lot of inventory of a certain product that I won't mention, but what I realized was stashing all this inventory in the US raises the cost of goods by quite a lot. Because the warehousing fees are high in the US, the shipping fees are very high in the US. But if you warehouse it in China, it's like the supplier is basically taking the majority of the warehousing fees for us because we have a very good relationship with the supplier.
Got it.
And then when you ship via ePacket, the US and China have some sort of a shipping treaty where you don't have to pay too much for the shipping. You actually pay a lot less for shipping from China to the US versus shipping directly from the US to the customers, which is kind of ridiculous because it's like you're shipping from the US to the customer and you're stashing it all in the US, but the fees are just high, like a lot higher. Yeah.
Interesting. So when you're finding a product, do these products have to be on AliExpress, or can they be on Alibaba.com as well, or is it this like the same thing?
Yeah, so like AliExpress is like the sister company of Alibaba, and basically all AliExpress allows you to do is buy individual products. And
unit at a time.
Yeah, and Alibaba allows you to buy like in bulk, right? So it's like if you buy on AliExpress, you're going basically through a middleman who probably purchased some inventory from another person and then is selling it to you. But if you buy it on Alibaba, you get it directly from the supplier, which means you're going to save a lot of money, but in return, you have to buy in bulk. So you have to invest like $1,000 to $5,000 in inventory, which you may never sell. So I always recommend to start off with AliExpress, test the product, see if it sells, make sure you can continue to sell it. Then you can invest in some inventory and cut your costs down.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. But like, what if you went to message the Alibaba.com supplier and asked them to send your customers one by one? They're not going to do that pretty much?
So the thing is, it's like some of them actually will do that, but it's you gotta message a lot of different suppliers. But some of them actually will do that for a slightly higher price.
Okay, cool. So Facebook ads, it's all about video, right? Have you ever had a product ad catch on that was like just photos, for example?
Yeah, so like photos will work great for clothing, but if you're running a product that's like a gadget, such as the mosquito trapper that I showed you guys on my channel, you're gonna probably want to run video because
Show it working.
Yeah, show it working because people don't understand how the product works, and in that case, you have to show a video because a video demonstrates how the product works exactly. But if you're selling clothing, it's like people already know what the clothing is, so then you can just display a photo advertisement, and they work great for clothing.
Got it. So let's say I'm making a video for a widget. I guess what are your video tips? What's the secret to a great video ad?
That's quite hard. There's so many different elements into it, but I think a tip I could give to the viewers to create better video ads is I feel like there's all these different formats for making video ads, but they're all different depending on the product you have, because it's like for a posture brace, it's like you want to go for an emotional, like a more emotional copy. For a fidget spinner, you want to go for a more cool vibe where it's like you're showcasing the product in a very cool aspect. But the way I always figure out the format is I look at the competitors' video ads and try to figure out like how they're structuring their ads. It's like, are they using a lot of emotion, lots of testimonials in the advertising? Are they really showcasing the product in a cool light? And by looking at the competitors' videos and seeing what's working for them, I can then use that to format my own videos.
Nice. Yep. Pay attention to what's working for your specific niche and emulate what's working. Hashtag business. And then, I mean, obviously, and then in the big picture, have you noticed that it takes testing like 10 different video ads before you find one that catches on? Like if I'm making a video, should I edit like how many videos on average have you found that it takes to test before you find one that catches on?
Okay, so for me personally, it's like within 3 videos, most likely I'll find something that works. But that's because I have a lot of experience with video advertising at this point. But for most beginners, it's like when I first started making video advertisements, it took me like 5, 10, sometimes even 15 videos before I found something that worked. And sometimes even never. It's like you just never find it because you just don't know how to market the product in the right angle.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's all about that angle, and finding out what message communicates with and resonates with that target buyer. Have you noticed that just changing the first 3 seconds of the video potentially can be the make or break for it?
Yeah. So I actually teach that in one of the case studies, I believe, where I say like if you change the intro on a video, you might get drastically different results. And that's because it's like the first 3 seconds is what's going to catch people's attention. And what's kind of funny is like I've been testing this for such a long time now, and it's like sometimes I use like a hot chick in the first 3 seconds. And what that does is it kind of throws off the entire advertisement a lot of times, because then a lot of dudes are watching the videos. So it's like if I'm selling like a product that's like targeted for both females and males, if I run a 3-second intro clip of just like a hot chick doing something with the product, then the majority of the people coming in will just be like very horny dudes, and they won't end up converting.
That doesn't work very well.
It doesn't work very well. Yeah. But it's just something interesting that I found.
What have you found with the first 3 seconds? What are some tips with the first 3 seconds?
The first 3 seconds should always definitely grab somebody's attention. What seems to work pretty well is like either a testimonial of somebody exclaiming like what the product did for them, or maybe like an animation of the product itself. And those two have been working very well for me. So
don't make it something random like an explosion.
Yeah, don't make it. I mean, I guess I think you could definitely test an explosion, but like this has definitely worked for me. And also like a little before and after. If you've seen our posture video, it's like my brother spinning around on one side without the brace and the other side with the brace. So it's like a little before and after. But don't include the word before and after in the advertising copy because that's against the policy. Unless you're like Snow or something and you can pay off Facebook. Yeah,
it's against Facebook advertising policies to use before and after for whatever reasons. But okay, so I got one ad. I should probably, you go over this in the course, but test like 3 different versions of the same ad, but the first 3 seconds are different.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't neglect that. Talking to myself, because I'm now getting into Facebook advertising for one of my best-selling Amazon products. Scale it over there. But okay, yeah, I think think you guys get the gist of the business model. You know, you could call this business model Facebook advertising, you know, but drop shipping is just like the hot word, you know, for this business model. But like, what is it at its core? Is it selling physical products, or is it Facebook advertising? You know?
Okay, so I'd say like for most people, it's like Facebook advertising, because most drop shippers currently have been taught only Facebook advertising. But I feel like drop shipping is just a business model that's been around for a long time, and the way drop shipping works has always been constantly changing as different media platforms arise, and like the way advertising changes. It's like the way dropshipping also changes as well. But it's been around for like decades now, right? Yeah. And I don't think it's ever going to die. The methods will definitely keep changing. So it's like you can dropship using Facebook, you can dropship using Pinterest, you could dropship using Google, TikTok, like anywhere you can advertise, you can dropship.
Yeah, it's advertising. You know, it's an advertising business model. And, you know, getting attention, getting eyeballs, and putting out a product that they would potentially be interested in. Like, for example, selling online courses, it's the same thing. You're going to put out an ad and advertise that on screens, digital. That's where people's attention is now, and put out a product out there and have them go to the website and order it. And when you say Facebook advertising, you mean Instagram as well, right?
Yeah, because Instagram's all part of the Facebook advertising.
Yeah, so when
platform.
we say Facebook advertising, we mean Facebook and Instagram. Have you noticed with most successes, it's like skewed one way in terms of Instagram impressions making the most money, or Facebook, or?
Yeah, I feel like right now it's like 50-50. Instagram Stories has also been working very well recently. So I feel like this has always been changing depending on where people's attention are going. And I feel like the younger demographic, it's definitely skewed towards Instagram. And then as the older you get, there's more people on Facebook.
Yep, got it. And it's all in the same platform. Like, you go to the Facebook ads platform, it puts you automatically on Facebook, Instagram feed, Instagram stories. It's just, you check a button, right?
Yeah.
So it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
And then have you found that as you're getting profitable, you deselect some of those options and just keep the most profitable ones?
So what's great about Facebook right now is like the AI algorithm has become so good that you almost have to touch nothing, like literally nothing. I just leave it as auto placement, let Facebook decide where the placements go to. You throw in a few different creatives into the ad set, so Facebook can test your creatives to see which one's the best one. And then even for the targeting, sometimes I don't even target anything, and Facebook will find the customers for you.
Really? Yeah. So targeting, you keep it like, 100 million potential audience and go from there?
Yeah. It's like a lot of the targetings I do, it's like 50 million, 100 million, 150 million. Sometimes it's like worldwide broad, where it's like I'm just targeting the entire world with nothing targeted, and Facebook will just go out there and find the customers for you. Now, this doesn't work every time, but it's like once you build up enough data with the Facebook ad account, and the ad account understands who your customers are, then it's like you can just target nothing, and it'll find all the customers for you, which means you can scale infinitely, because worldwide there's like over 1 billion users on Facebook. Yeah.
And if you did that broad shotgun approach, I guess, wouldn't that take a more upfront advertising cost to test and to reach all those people?
So I mean, you're never going to be able to reach all those people unless, I guess, you're Bill Gates or something and you had an infinite amount of money. But yeah, we like to start off with about $500 when we test those big audience sizes, because it definitely needs a lot of data.
$500 a day?
$500 a day, yeah. Because it definitely needs a lot of data to be able to figure out who your customers are. Like, if you're running $5, most likely it's going to be very hard for Facebook to figure out who your customers are if you target worldwide broad. But if you spend like $500 a day, after like the first $50 in spend, Facebook will start to recognize patterns with your customers and figure out exactly who your customers are.
Got it. And then obviously, if your audience is pretty obvious, you would start with that, right?
Yeah.
Targeting.
Yeah. So it's like if I'm selling the posture brace, I can just target like posture, which is a very broad term, but it's like posture.
You can target posture as a term?
I'm pretty sure it's like posture or body or something related to like your back.
Oh,
just a very broad term, right?
Oh.
It's like you can target neck, and it's like
you can target keywords?
Yeah, it's like keywords.
Oh, I didn't know you could target keywords. I thought it was just like interests.
Oh no, they have such a big array of interests. You'd have to look through it to figure out like all of them.
Oh wow, Interesting. So yeah, if your audience, if you know who your demographic is, like if it's yoga pants, then you target people who are female and like yoga pages. The simple things, but other products are more broad, maybe start broad and let Facebook narrow it
Yeah,
in for
yeah.
you. Okay, frick yeah. Okay. Well, if you guys want to learn more, you already know what to do. He's releasing a course. It's for a very low price. It's for a very, very low, reasonable price. He's breaking it all down for you. I can tell you're happy to do it, happy to help people, achieve this freedom, this life, so you don't have to have a job, don't have to do school anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like our course is only going to be $99. It's like we're not really trying to make money off of people, to be honest. And it's like we're already doing so well with e-commerce. Our lifestyles are so cheap, and it's like I don't need any more money. So it's like I was so bored. I was just like, I might as well make a YouTube channel and teach some people, because back in the day I used to stream on League of Legends, and I love teaching people how to play League of Legends, because I was actually challenger in League of Legends, which is like the top ranking in the game.
Okay.
And I was teaching people how to play the game. And now it's like I'm doing dropshipping, so I was like, I might as well teach people how to do this as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like we're selling the course for $99, but it's going to be very comprehensive. It's like super in depth. We have a lot of scripts written for it, making it very concise, and we want to deliver the most value possible without taking people's money. So it's like everyone can access the course if it's $99.
Yeah.
And we're still selling the course for $99 because we're putting a lot of effort into it, and we want to at least get some sort of payoff for all the effort.
Yeah, of course. $99 is way better than paying $100K for college, where you learn how to get a great job for life. Or you can invest in a small specialized online course and learn how to never need a job for life. You can be out here in Chiang Mai just kicking it.
Yeah, you could be kicking it. I say like this place is really nice because you're away from like all the hectic things that go on with like modern day society. Like when I was over in Chicago, there's a lot of pressure to do things that you don't really want to do. But over here, it's like very peaceful. Everything's cheap, so you never have to worry about money, and you can just focus on the things that you love and you want to do.
Exactly, man. Exactly. 4-hour work week. 101. Focus on building your passive income. Use technology and outsourcing VAs and hiring employees so you can have this free time to figure out what you want to do. And I'll ask you that in a second. But that reminds me, it's worth noting that you told me that you have a couple employees.
Oh, yeah.
You have like an office in India or something with a whole team?
Yeah, I have an office in India with like 40 people.
Whoa.
And then like Richard is in charge of hiring now for our operations side. Like the office in India was on my side before we partnered up. But now that we're together, it's like Richard's in charge of hiring people. And for Richard, it's like he doesn't have a specific office set up, but he's hired so many employees now on Upwork. There's probably like 30 or 40 employees from like Upwork and LinkedIn.
Okay. Richard, he's living here? Did I meet him?
No, Richard's in Australia right now.
He's in Australia. And how did you connect with him?
Actually, when I came to Chiang Mai 3 years ago, Richard happened to be here as well, but I didn't get to meet him, but we all ended up joining the same Chiang Mai Facebook group.
Oh, wow.
And that's where I met him. He was doing similar results, and I was like, it'd be kind of cool if we made a store together and see how it worked out, because Richard's very good with people, and he's very good at managing employees, and I'm terrible with that stuff. I'm terrible with the back-end stuff, but I'm very good with the marketing side. So we teamed up where it's like I'm running the marketing now, and Richard is doing all the back-end operations, and that's probably where the bulk of the work is, honestly, is the back-end operations, because without the back-end operations, it's impossible to scale.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. And so now you guys have like a handful of stores together, or?
Yeah. So back in Q4, we had like 8 stores or something. I think 8 or 10 stores running back in Q4. Right now, we just have 1 store running for the case study, but we're about to launch 4 more stores now once March 2nd hits, when our supplier is ready to go.
Wow, 4 more stores. You've already obviously chosen the niche and the product and everything.
Yeah, we have everything set up.
And are most of your stores just one product, or a handful of related products, or random stuff? Or?
So we had a lot of one product stores. I think we had over like 10 one product stores. Then we had a lot of niche stores as well. And now we're getting into general stores. I want to definitely see how well general stores could work, because back in the day I thought like general stores were a little bit harder to run than like one product stores. But recently, after doing a lot of research on the internet and seeing like Steve and Evan Tan's results, I've decided like maybe general stores could do really well if only I knew how to actually market general stores properly. So I'm going to be relaunching general stores and testing it again, probably beginning March.
Okay, cool. So do you have like like more than like 10 stores like making you money right now? Like
No, right now we just have one store running.
Oh, wow.
Because of the Chinese New Year's and the coronavirus.
But in the past, like last year, how many like stores did you have?
Oh, last year we had so many, probably like 20, maybe 30, somewhere between 20 to 30. Yeah.
Okay, and those were doing like on average monthly last year, like 100K net profit or something like that.
Not all of them. So it's like some of them
like all combined. I mean.
Yeah, all combined, we're doing at least 100K. Yeah.
Okay. And how much was your best store making? Like 10K or 20K?
I'm trying to think. I think our best store hit over $1 million in revenue and like 300K in profit, maybe 400K, something like that.
In the whole year?
No, in just like a month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
300K in profit a month.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
So of all your like 20 stores, like what's like an average, monthly profit of like a successful store? Is it like 5K, like 10K a month? Like
yeah, so like I'd say like my target is to do at least 100K profit per store, but we never quite hit that last year.
Per month,
so
okay.
going forward this year, it's like we're really focusing on the back end so that every store can at least hit 100K consistently.
Wow.
Last year we ran into a lot of issues with Facebook policy, the product quality, customer satisfaction, which is why this year we're really stepping everything up. It's like we're quality checking everything. Our supplier checks everything before sending it over to the warehouse before it even ships. And then we make sure the logistics and everything is very, very secure. Packaging is great, product is great. So that the overall customer experience is great so that you can run the store for a long time.
Nice. Get everything dialed in. Okay, once you're scaling. Okay, this is awesome. This is exciting. You got a team. You got a whole office of Indian freelancers working for you. Did you guys like rent the office space yourself?
So what happened was it's quite interesting because I met one employee on Upwork and I was like, this guy's a very good worker. And this is back in 2017 when I first started. And my stores weren't doing that much, so it wasn't that hard for me to manage it and then have one employee to fulfill the orders. But he was doing a great job, and I saw potential in this guy. So as we continued to scale, I was like, can you hire some more people? And I actually put him in charge of hiring more people.
Perfect.
And he hired some more people in India, and like they were all living in his house working. And eventually there was like 5 people working in his house, and I was like, we're scaling pretty quick at this point. And I'm like, holy shit, we need more employees. So then I told him, I'm like, maybe we should get an office space, and you should hire more people. So then he got an office space, and hired more people, and eventually the staff just kept on growing. And he's in charge of everything.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
You don't just have a drop shipping hustle anymore. You have a freaking business.
Yeah.
You have a remote company. You're running a remote company. That's why, you're making the 100Ks a month in gross profit. Wow. Okay, sweet. So you got a whole Indian office going on right now.
Yep.
You're lucky to find a great freelancer, as you know, and we all know it's hit or miss with the freelancers on Upwork.com. But we have these amazing tools nowadays. There's no excuse to not start your small online business. The good thing about an online business is it's scalable to a big online business relatively quickly. The power of screens, the power of Instagram advertising, the power of this Chinese fulfillment, all these factories, boom, get shit for so cheap and they ship it out 7 days. It's hitting the customer in America or any country pretty much. Amazing, bro. Super, super dope. Dope case study of a subscriber. Let's go. Let's get more of you guys out here. So what's your, are you posted up here? What's your vision?
Okay, so basically what we're doing right now is we're building capital. So it's like we have the VRM channel, we're going to make some capital from that. We have our own e-commerce stores, we're going to be making some capital from that. And my end goal is like I want to have a big brand like MVMT or something. I think they were recently acquired for like $100-something million. And I want to get to that level. So it's like I need a lot of capital to invest. But I also don't want any investors. I want to just start it all from scratch. So we're going to need at least like $5 to $10 million in just free capital before I can launch into this big business. So I'm just saving up to get to that point, and then I'm going to try to go into a big business. And as I'm getting into a bigger business and learning how to private label and actually create a brand, I'll be also updating the VRM channel with more content on how to create an actual brand and not a dropshipping business. Because when it comes to dropshipping, it's very hard to retain customers for a long period of time, because most times it's like the customer is not going to have the best experience, especially if your shipping times are 14 days. So it's much better to build a sustainable business like MVMT that's going to last a long time. It's just that it requires a lot more capital to get to that point.
That's a physical product brand?
It's a watch brand.
Oh, okay.
But to sell like watches, you need a lot of money on influencer marketing.
Got it.
Like a lot of money, because you can definitely hire some cheaper influencers, but you're never going to scale nearly as big as MVMT.
Okay, got it. Yeah. The whole private label thing, if you guys don't know, which was buying inventory in bulk and putting your own brand logo on it, your own custom packaging, where you own that inventory, you own that physical product brand, and building that brand name as a big thing. And obviously the holy grail is having a brand name like MVMT, like a popular name, like Pop Socket or something like that, like making a big brand name. Cool. Yeah. I've been doing the Amazon private labeling thing for 5 years now, but just now kind of starting the Facebook advertising for our best products. And so have learned a lot from you already. And obviously on my channel, plenty of videos about the private label method, but yeah, the power of Facebook to be able to scale worldwide is unprecedented in the times that we live in. So nice. So are you posted up in Chiang Mai for a bit, or like, do you want to like travel the world, or right now you just like focus on building your business?
Yeah, right now I'm just focused on building the business. I don't really have any intentions to travel the world. My partner Richard is going to Vegas, I think, in March. So maybe I'll go visit him in March. And then if it's really nice, maybe after Chiang Mai I might move to Vegas. And I do also have some friends living in LA, so I was like, maybe I'll go to LA. But as of now, I'm pretty clueless as to where I'm going to go next.
Yeah, cool. Exactly. It doesn't matter. You got your own 3-screen setup here. You got your mic, your whole camera with a teleprompter. His videos are sick, by the way. He grew his channel to like 50,000 subscribers in like 6 months or something because their tutorials are great. And by the way, he hired his brother. His brother was able to quit his job and come work full time for John, which is so cool. I'm hoping to scale pretty quick here so I can pay for some of my friends to come work for me full time. Anyways, you guys know what to do if you want to learn more about drop shipping. Check out his course. He's it's gonna be great. And I'll say this big picture thing at the end. It's like, let's say you get his course for $99, and then let's say you put $1,000 into Facebook advertising and the whole this whole dropshipping project. Let's say you spend 6 months doing it and you didn't make any profits. Like, now you're down $1,000. Are you down or are you up? See, what you just did is you just took a 6-month digital marketing course for $1,000. And you learned by doing. At the end of the 6 months, you're going to be above all those 4-year business school kids. You're going to be above all of your other friends that just went to college or are still in school or still doing their entrepreneurship degree. What you just learned is so many things that are such good high income skills, high value skills that you can pivot and start a Facebook ads agency from there. So many options to pivot from there just by learning the stuff in this. You could think of it as a business project. Let's say you put $1,000 into it, and if you come away making $1,000 a month, like that's a huge win.
Yeah, definitely.
But it has the potential to make $10,000 a month. That's a freaking smash home run. But even if you don't make any money, you just got the best education you could ever get because you learn by doing. School doesn't teach you how to learn by doing. They teach you via textbooks and like theories. You learn so many things. You learned the Facebook ads platform, the Instagram ads platform. You learned copywriting. You learned video marketing. You learned shipping and logistics. You learned conversion rate optimization on Shopify. You learned the whole Shopify platform, which is the biggest e-commerce platform in the world. You learned all about like psychology of sales and like how the add to cart button should be this color, not this color. You learned keyword targeting because you're targeting these audiences. And you learned accounting. You learned how to set up a business. You learned how to manage your own time. You learned how to hire remote employees from Upwork.com. You learned graphic design, making these pictures. That's like 10 different skills that you just got such a good education in only 6 months. I don't care, honestly, big picture, if you don't come away making money. Whether it's trying another store or pivoting into another type of business model, you just have all those skills. So it's like way better value education than any ed school you could go to.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say entrepreneurship, you're going to learn so much just by doing. And I think success is really just a mindset, and it all depends on like what you decide the scenario is, I guess. As in, like, let's say you fail on a store, is it really a failure, or did you just learn something and can you improve upon it and then keep pushing forward? Because that's what I thought. When I failed my first store, I'm like, oh, I can make the design better, I can make the copy a bit better, I can make the advertising a bit better. And then it's like the second store was a little bit better than the first store, and the third store was a little better than the second store, and it just keeps on going forward as you just keep on progressing. But it's all about the mentality, as in like you have to take everything as a learning opportunity and not as a loss. So it's like even if you fail a store, in like economics, if you ever learn about sunk cost, you should just take the loss of the store and then keep on going forward, because it's never too good to dwell on the past.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah.
Good shit, brother.
All right.
Hit him up, ecom, YouTube channel, all that shit. See you guys.
See you guys.
In the land of not having a job.
Peace.
Penthouse. No big deal. And Chiang Mai. Thailand. Bitches. Anyway, guys, I waited a couple months to post this. And today, if you're seeing this, John's course is open. So right when I did the interview, that was right before Corona hit. Then Corona hit, and he has finished making the course. So, yeah, if you've been following me during the past recent time, I've been doing more Amazon videos talking about FBA, working on my new FBA course and program called 90-Day FBA, where you launch an FBA program. It's like a 90-day accelerator where you launch your Amazon product in 90 days. So if you haven't signed up for that, I think Facebook ads to drop shipping is the next best way to make good money online, as you have heard in this interview. So I'll leave it just up to John here. I'll go ahead and play his course launch explainer video that he just came out with.
Hey guys, John from Ecom here. I'm extremely proud and excited to release Project Viram Ecom Foundations. This is the ultimate e-commerce course that will walk you through everything from start to finish. First, I'm going to walk you through product research, showing you exactly what to look for when it comes to a successful product. Second, I'll show you how to create a beautiful looking store, write product copy that actually sells, and then design professional product images. Third, I'll explain the fundamentals of Facebook ads so that you have a deep understanding of how Facebook actually works. Fifth, my partner Richard will teach you how to hire and create efficient teams so that you can automate almost every aspect of your business. And finally, as an added bonus, my partner Richard will also teach you his influencer marketing strategy that has allowed him to scale multiple 7-figure stores. By the end of this course, you'll have everything you need to become successful at dropshipping. Now, I know that $99 can be quite a lot of money for some of you guys out there, and I definitely don't recommend you to purchase a course if you're hesitant about dropshipping. All the information you need to succeed is out there for free if you look hard enough. We have a spectacular Facebook group of over 30,000 active members who discuss strategies and ideas every day, as well as a YouTube channel with free videos on almost every topic you might need to start off as a beginner. Now, these two resources alone should be more than plenty to get you started without needing a course. Now, with that said, if you value your time like we do, then the course is essentially a shortcut to your success. We've taken everything we've learned over the past 3 years and compiled it into this easy to follow, step-by-step course to fast-track your progress to success. Not only that, but you'll be getting access into a private Facebook group with dedicated entrepreneurs who are actually serious about their business. And to top it off, we'll be hosting live Q&A calls from time to time to answer any questions you might have about the course as well as your dropshipping journey. Now, before I end this little video, I want to give a huge thanks to our team, because without our team, none of this would have been possible. Writing over 150 pages plus of script and editing over 300 plus hours is no easy task. It would have been impossible for me to do this alone. So I want to give a huge thanks to Richard Yancey, my partner and good friend, who set up the infrastructure and teams required to scale out our operations. I want to give a huge thanks to Mark DeBranco, one of my best friends who I met in college that has helped me with almost every aspect of e-commerce and has done an amazing job as a partner at Virum. And I literally want to kiss this man Dennis Liu for being so fucking sexy and doing an amazing job at
anyway, so yeah, like he said in our interview, it's only $99. We were partying, going out in Chiang Mai. He's like, yeah, I just want everyone, no matter where they live in the world, no matter what situation they're in, to be able to get this. And I think it's honestly the best course out there. So it's going to work at only $99 because people are going to refer their friends, et cetera, et cetera. And honestly, I'm looking at this influencer marketing section right here. I want this for my Amazon products. I want to know what that guy has been able to do, because influencer marketing is so tricky. So honestly, for me, it's worth the $99 just to get it, just for my Amazon FBA business. So anyway, yeah, course is open. You can click below to get that right now. I forgot to mention that honestly, there's never been a better time to get into e-commerce because of Corona thing that just hit. As everyone knows, online shopping numbers have just jumped way up. So there's never been a better time to start an e-commerce business. And honestly, I think this is the best way to get started if FBA is not for you. So there's literally no excuse. You got the time in your hands. Now is the time to get started. Honestly, don't wait. Fucking get his course and go. Just do it.
Living that life. We just living that life. Talking plus living that life. We just living that life. You're listening to the Living That Life Digital Nomad Podcast. Hit the subscribe button on iTunes if you're a boss. And check out the YouTube channel for dope travel videos.